I think I just saw a statistic that really surprised me actually. And what is that? It was allegedly how the Algorand Foundation recently made a post, and it said how in terms of layer 1 blockchain transactions, they say in terms of finality time in May of 2026, Algorand is allegedly number one in the world, apparently, when it comes to that post. Now, I'll get more into that. And even though nothing I say is financial advice and I'm not telling anyone to do anything, but allegedly, Algorand's finality time is 0 seconds, which is seemingly very impressive to me. Keep in mind, Algorand allegedly, according to this chart, is ranked higher than like Avalanche. We take a look at Stellar, Solana, even Cardano. But wait, what? In this chart, actually, they made Cardano's finality time, allegedly, it says it's 1 day. I don't even know if that's even possible. I mean, that's so long. I mean, don't get me wrong, right? I'm not trying to say this chart is incorrect or not, but Cardano 1 day, seriously? Like, what the? Yeah, I don't know about that. But yeah, besides that point, though, that seems very long. But yeah, besides that point, I think if anything, Algorand's alleged fast finality time, I think it showcases a somewhat good feature that a lot of enterprises out there may look for, because a lot of enterprises out there, they prioritize speed, right? They like efficiency. Now, what is something that is known for very fast speed, I suppose, right? What's known for having like really fast features in terms of a blockchain? We take a look at the Stellar blockchain, which allegedly, according to this chart, the finality time, at least in May 2026, it says it's 5 seconds, but again, we take a look at Algorand, allegedly 0 seconds. Which, I mean, the Algorand Foundation made this post, so I'm assuming that, they might at least have verified it to a certain extent, right? I have no way to do it myself directly, but I'm just going off of what they posted. But I'm just saying, though, that seems very impressive because the Stellar blockchain is already considered very fast. It's already considered, like, actually really fast, according to many people, not just fast, right? So when we see something like Algorand, again, allegedly ranked higher than that, at least when it comes to this chart, it's just kind of impressive to me, actually. Now, again, I don't know about Cardano's finality time, again, being 1 day, that just sounds like way too long. But yeah, besides that point, I think it's just more so kind of showcasing, right? I think in this case, Algorand's sort of speed in a sense, because it's not really known for that. Like, for quite a while, everyone thought that Algorand was just this boring layer 1 blockchain, but it's not really kind of the case, I think, as of late in terms of what has come out. Like, for instance, we take a look at this, right? Kind of the speed of Algorand was highlighted. And also we take a look at Algorand's noted security. We've seen Google's quantum paper mention Algorand. We've seen Coinbase also mention about Algorand. We've seen Charles Hoskinson talk about Algorand. So that seems very impressive. But you know what? Coincidentally, actually, Charles Hoskinson did, respond to this post, and he said 1 day finality. He put a question mark and he said somewhere along the lines of, "Are you all feeling okay over there?" Yeah, again, right? I don't know. Like, why is Cardano 1 day when it comes to that? Like, why is it 24 hours, basically? That seems like a very long finality time. But yeah, besides that point, again, Algorand, it's already kind of being recognized more so for its security as of late. And then now we see the speed of it. Again, those are two major factors that enterprises usually care about. They care about speed, and they care about something being secure. So then Algorand, as of late, the reputation has been kind of increasing in that sense, right? Not to mention, if we take a look at it as well, we'll also see that Algorand historically has been known for kind of its energy consumption. In a good way, though, because we take a look at how Algorand is allegedly carbon neutral, so that's very impressive as well. And if we think about it, a lot of developers out there focused on AI. If we think about it, AI does use allegedly a lot of energy, right? So if we take a look at something like Algorand, which inherently, allegedly, is already pretty much energy kind of efficient, a lot of people would like to say, wouldn't that be kind of a good place for AI projects? I'm just saying, I don't know, right? But we'll wait and see. But if I take a look at how energy consumption is sometimes a really big factor when it comes to some of these AI projects, Algorand, which inherently, again, is known for its energy consumption in a good way, that could matter as well. And then on top of that, I add the kind of noted security of Algorand as of late, and also furthermore its speed. That's like the perfect buffet right there. It's like the cherry on top, right? It's kind of like me eating at Sizzler. I think it's the best restaurant of all time. Not the fanciest, but I think it's the best, personally for me. But besides that, when I take a look at it, Algo in the past 24 hours, almost a 5% recovery, by the way. Kind of impressive if I think about it, actually. Not the best, but things have been so low for so long. It's to the point that, what, if something recovers around 5% in the past 24 hours, I'm not going to complain. That's a thing. Now, granted though, does Algorand still have a ways to go? Yeah, I mean, of course, the market cap is still around $1 billion. Not too long ago, we saw like almost $4 billion, so we're still down by quite a lot. But I'm just saying, still, I'm not going to complain. Why would I complain, actually? But, also sometimes I like to remind myself, like an almost 5% recovery, sometimes that's considered a little bit bearish in a 24-hour time frame, especially if the market were to do pretty good, or let's say there's a hypothetical altcoin season. Sometimes that type of movement is considered like very boring or bearish. Some people would like to think so, but given at a time like right now, I'm not going to complain, right? I mean, Algorand, it was down for so long like that, and also this space to a certain extent. Seeing Bitcoin now at around 80 grand, it's kind of like a breath of fresh air. That's just the way I take a look at it. And also maybe if the macroeconomic conditions were to, who knows, maybe let's say get better, and who knows, hypothetically, Bitcoin stabilizes at around 100 grand or whatever. I think that'd be pretty awesome for kind of just the broader market sentiment when it comes to Algorand. Could that cause Algorand to just randomly go back to around a 4 billion market cap? No, I think it's pretty difficult. I think there would need to be a broader change in sentiment for a more prolonged timeline, and then maybe some of it kind of trickles down to altcoins like that. Then who knows, maybe. But regardless, I'm willing to wait. That's the thing. Personally, for me, I'm not in here for just a couple days, a couple weeks. That's not my style, right? I'm not in here for just a couple months. I'm in here for the long term. So when it comes to this, sure, sometimes this market could surprise me, right? Sometimes the recovery could be quite fast like that. Like, I don't know, right? Or sometimes it could take quite a while, but I'm prepared for either situation. The reason why I don't actually mind waiting for quite a while, and the reason why I actually put myself in a mindset where I might have to wait for quite a while, even though I don't exactly know, but I just like to put myself in that mindset. The reason is because that way, if it takes a little bit longer, I'm not disappointed. That's the thing. But if it happens faster, then I'd be happier. That's the thing, right? I mean, this is just the way to take a look at it. It's like, for instance, when people like to say, oh, this dish, let's say a stew, or let's say chicken pot pie, or let's say the cookbook or whatever, I watch a video, it says, oh, either an hour or an hour, 30 minutes. The thing is this, I'm just going to assume an hour and a half. Even though it may take an hour, who knows, but I just like to assume an hour and a half, because that way, if it happens in like just an hour, I'd be happy anyways, right? Because I thought, oh, you know what? I might have to wait for an hour and a half, but turns out I waited an hour. But if my expectation was like an hour and then it ended up being an hour and a half, then I'd be really frustrated, right? I'd be like, oh, what? Seriously, like that? I'd be like, come on, I had to wait so long. That's why I just like to take more so of the kind of, I guess, worst case scenario type of mindset sometimes. Maybe. That's the thing. So if I have to wait for quite a while, it is what it is. Like, I'm not going to complain. But if it happens faster, then I'm not going to complain either. That's just kind of the mindset that I have. I want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a very nice day. It's been Lee the Captain. I'm out. Peace. Bye.